along with me as I carry out a bit of a tidy and declutter in my bedroom and then the following day in my daughter's room whilst I answer all your wonderful questions that you sent me. Thank you so much for those. So in the bedroom, there are basically just a bunch of piles of things, mostly actually where I have decluttered other areas and then I've been moving stuff upstairs to like do something with, or, I've got boxes of photographs by my bed. With the idea being that one night I would sit and I would go through the photos and declutter them. But that's not happened. It's been so busy at work. We're going on holiday in a little while. And I just thought, we need to put these away for now. We're clearly not going to get around to this particular job. So, your questions, which were amazing. Firstly, I had a question about my hair. So I'm growing out, you can see very clearly there actually. I'm growing out my hair dye, growing in my natural hair, which is, as you can see, it's quite dark with a reasonable amount of silver, shall we say. Not grey, silver. The question was, are you sure you still want to grow your hair out? And at the moment, I'm happy. Yeah, I will say that the quality of my hair has improved. It is feeling softer, less dry, and I think that because I was dyeing my hair like every month, it was just stripping my hair of so much of its natural softness, and it's feeling a lot better. And if I run my hands along the roots that have grown out, it's so much softer. Like it feels like much better quality. And I think I'm gonna like it. I don't love that the line between the two, the demarcation line, I do not love. And I think that's just gonna get worse, isn't it, as my hair grows out. So if you see me wincing there, I did something I basically managed to pull my sock over my foot somehow. It really hurt. And then I realized at night when I got into bed and took my sock off that I had actually split my toenail completely down and it was bleeding. So now I don't know what to do with that. I don't know whether I'm going to have to go and get it repaired at the nail salon so that it holds while it grows out or something. But yeah, so far I have been wearing one of my kids' like dinosaur plasters. So that's my solution for holding it together and not making it worse. Anyway, and back to your questions. I had another question, which was, what's the end goal for decluttering? So honestly, find it hard to imagine a time where I won't be decluttering. Like, will I get to the end, do you think? Because I am not so sure. So yeah, firstly, I just feel like this is going to be a continual ongoing process. I'd love to get to the point where I feel like there is just a bit more space and that we can breathe a bit easier in the home. And I'm not sure when I get to that point. I feel like with little children in this phase of life that we're in, it's always going to be pretty chaotic. And at the moment, I just feel like I don't get a second. It's constant. Like I'm constantly doing something. I'm either working, I'm doing something with the kids, I'm trying to squeeze in a run. There's jobs to do constantly. I have a constant list of things. Like I need to order new taps. I need to get the plumber here because the tap in our main bathroom is dripping and it's a waste of water. It's not good for the planet and it's going to cost us money and it's blooming annoying. And I just have not got around to sorting it out. So I've got lots of things like that. So do we ever get to the end of decluttering? I do not know. But I'm just taking it one day at a time for now, because I think having a goal like by X date, the house will look and feel a certain way, could be quite disappointing because I'm not sure how long it's going to take. So I had another decluttering related question, which was, what's the most like unexpected, like surprising thing that I have found while decluttering? So this is a great question. So actually the decluttering that I have been doing, which I started in December, really came about because I had lost my watch. And if you watch from the beginning of the series, then you'll remember that. So I had a beautiful watch, which my husband bought me for my 40th, and it was very precious to me in like every sense, as in I adored it, It was beautiful, but also it was probably after my engagement ring, the most expensive thing that I've been gifted. So the fact that I had lost it, just for all of those reasons, was horrible, and I shed many tears. Was like, I couldn't sleep properly. It was horrible, and I just, it was a catalyst that I thought, there's just too much stuff in the house. I'm going to have to look for the watch anyway, which means I'm going to have to sort through a bunch of areas of the house. So in doing so, like, why didn't I just combine that with decluttering? And that's how that came about. And on day 8 of the decluttering, when I say I found the watch, actually my eldest son found the watch. So that was amazing and definitely a standout moment. I also found my husband's car key. That was in the microwave section of my kids' toy kitchen. So my toddler is a little bit of a magpie and takes sparkly things and shiny things and fun things and legs it with them. So I think she is probably, responsible for the watch as well. But we will forgive her. She is adorable. So we found the key. I also found a £10 note inside of our coffee table. Don't know who shoved that in there. But yeah, I didn't even know that that was missing. That was completely unexpected. And then there were a few like annoying things, really, and there were plenty of things I'd have forgotten about entirely. Um, a few annoying things like the seat covers for chairs, the outside chairs that we got rid of 4 years ago. And I just had absolutely no idea that we were storing them in the loft and they had become damaged, or, two were okay and two were damaged. So in storing stuff for long periods of time like that and then forgetting about them, they basically get ruined and prevents anyone else from enjoying them, which really bugged me. So lots of things like that. And I also found some items from my wedding. So I found the belt that was on my wedding dress and a badge which my mum had as a little girl. And it was a badge with a glass front, and you could kind of take it apart, or she managed to. And then she put in it a little bit of tartan fabric from the wedding, and I wore that on the back of my wedding dress. And that was very, very special to me, and I did not know where it was. So that was amazing to find that again. So here is the kind of what we managed to declutter from the bedroom. And honestly, I just wasn't feeling it that particular night. It took quite a while to get motivated to do this, and not masses decluttered, but still progress and a lot of things tidied away. And in general, whilst not perfect, an improvement. And these are things which just need relocating, like they don't need to be in the bedroom. I was absolutely exhausted. But then, fun fact, I basically just scrolled the internet for another half an hour and wasted time instead of going to bed. And I seem to be in a bit of a habit of that at the moment, just like going to bed very late and wasting time when I should be going to bed. So the next day, I literally set the timer for 10 minutes and it didn't even take me that long. And I got rid of so much more stuff from my daughter's bedroom. But the motivation here was that the next day, we were going to see my friend and her daughter, who's 11 months. And I had a bag of stuff for her. And we've just moved Daisy out of her sleeping bags into, she's still in the cot, but she now has a big girl cover instead of the baby sleeping bags. So I wanted to just basically get rid of everything that I needed to send to my friend all at once while I was seeing her. So everything I tidied up for her, I put straight into the bag I had and straight into the boot of the car. So now my mission is to remember to take them out of the car and give them to her. So other questions that I had were all surrounding my career as a lawyer. So I've been a lawyer for about 23 years now. And I have questions about like what kind of area of law and how did I get into it and did I always want to be a lawyer, and that sort of thing. So did I always want to be a lawyer? No, I did not. I really struggled all throughout my school years. I did not know what I wanted to do. Then I started doing A-levels after school. I went to a local college, did A-levels, and I just chose some science-related A-levels because I was pretty good at science, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And it's really hard to motivate yourself to study when you're just studying, not either for enjoyment's sake, but because you think you need to and you don't have a goal in mind. So I basically ended up leaving my A-levels after a year, going to work, taking up some more shifts in the cafe that I worked at, then thinking, well, I don't want to do this forever either. So somebody told me that you could earn quite good money as a legal secretary, and I thought, fine, I'll go and do that. Took myself off to the local college again to sign up for a legal secretarial course, and the head of the legal department had a look through my GCSE results and basically took the time to take me to a completely separate room, got his whiteboard marker out, and then did put on the board the route to becoming a solicitor. So you kind of traditional university route, but then also the route I could take doing the legal secretarial course and then going on to do more studies. I think about this tutor a lot. His name is Alf, and I have a lot to thank Alf for. Sadly, he passed away before I qualified as a solicitor, but I went to see him. He was suffering from a health condition, by which he knew that his time was limited. So I went to see him before he passed away, and I, told him how far I'd gone. I got quite far in my way to becoming a solicitor by that point, and told him I was gonna see it through. And so that I think that, everything he did for me meant so much to me. But in the end, so I did the legal secretarial course, and as I did the course, I discovered I really loved the legal side of things. I thought, okay, I won't be a legal secretary, I'll be a lawyer. And I begged basically for my first trainee role, started in a law firm at 18 and studied whilst I worked. So I've done all my studying whilst I've worked full time. So it took me, I say, it didn't actually end up taking me that much longer than a traditional route. I also was sponsored by all of my employers I had during that long period of time. So they paid for all of my studies, and I qualified as a solicitor, having got myself on the property ladder, and I had a little flat, and I had no student debt. I have other debt, but no student debt. So I don't actually practice. I'm a practicing lawyer, but I don't handle any cases anymore. I work within the insurance industry, and I advise clients, insurers and large retailers like big supermarkets and that sort of thing, on legal changes that will impact them. I spend a lot of time in Parliament, and it's a really interesting, exciting job, but it is not one that I ever, knew I would have throughout my school years. And as a result of my route into law, I'm very passionate about people, not going to university just for the sake of going to uni and not getting in debt, doing vocational studies. And actually the route to becoming a solicitor via the kind of route that I used is way easier now than it was when I did it. So if you or anyone wants to become a solicitor in the UK, I will be happy to answer your questions on that route, as I think it is definitely a good way into law. So here's everything that I decluttered from Daisy's room, like tons of sleeping bags, a few items of clothing, and then this stuff is also decluttered, but will go in the bin because it's basically just been abused at nursery. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.